Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy Steve. Today I'm joined by all these fine nerds. You probably are familiar with me and Ted, but we also have our friends joining us. Robin Miller, Brian Colton, and Carlos Rivera is our GM, Volcanic Knight, and everyone has links down in the description. Brian created this game that we're playing. Did I forget Stephen Partridge? How could I forget Stephen Partridge? Uh, he's down in the links as well. Follow those fine folks across the interwebs. With that, before we get started, I just want to point out we have a Kickstarter coming up for Zoo Mafia. So if you've been following along these games, we've played a few of them. That's the next game we're going to be playing. Well, there's the notify page that you can sign up for down in the description below. So go check that out. And we will be having early bird specials. So if you want to get involved with those, you're going to want to get notified. With that, I'm going to throw it to our GM.
What is good, internet? I am Carlos Rivera. I run the Volcanic Knight YouTube channel. You definitely do want to get those early bird specials with the Zoo Mafia. I can attest it is a very fun game that can be very surprising results depending on what decisions you guys make. But we are in our 11th session, one more close to last, and I feel it appropriate to pay tribute to the Kansas, the Twister, Tin Man, and the Puddle Jumper. These ships were not lost in vain because they brought our adventurers, our legionnaires, if you will, one step closer to what they seem to deem most righteous. And if you're out there, drink one up to those fine ships. But with that, I am going to pass it off to the person that was not here several weeks ago. And I'm going to bully Ted. Ted, I'm passing it off to you. So you are, whoever you remember, and pass it off to whoever you see fit.
Sure. Hey, everybody. I am Nerdarchy Ted. Tonight, I'll be playing the Twisted Alchemist Flask. He's had a rough go as of lately, with all the craziness and whatnot that's been happening. The last thing that I remember is, we fought in a epic cage match, and after somebody ripped somebody's heart out, I went and did emergency surgery and brought the guy back to life. And as a way of saying thank you for, being an amazing hero, they decided to shove bags over all our heads, and I got knocked around a little bit more than everybody else, so they pulled the bags off and I was unconscious. So that's what my character did last session. Nothing. So I'm going to toss it to Robin.
Hi. All right. So I'm playing Mara, who has an awesome screw hawk that is currently covered up by a cowboy hat because I'm wearing the crappiest disguise known to man. What I remember from last week is that Nova went missing. We got back. She was gone. We had to go find her. It was a whole kerfuffle. Brian, how about we pick on you now?
I'm Brian Cullen, and I'm playing Buckaroo, the emo bot rolling around on treads with clown makeup and a returned red honky nose on their face. Buckaroo doesn't really care what happens to Nova. Buckaroo doesn't care if we save her or not, and would be happy to sell her in so that we can get some space credits. But that doesn't seem to be the way of our Legion. I know we went to try and got her back, but Stephen, you have a much better memory than this poor sad bot does.
So, yes, we absolutely went to get Nova back. We came upon them hitting her, and we were not having that. So we went into a whole melee. It was great. There was a lot of fatalities, Mortal Kombat style, and Skylar started embracing the claw and specifically embracing the rage a little more. Skylar's been going quite a bit darker with this whole refusal to accept the consequences of his actions sort of thing. So there's been that. There's also been talk of possibly trying to fuse neuromancy with these worms to maybe do some necromantic nonsense. We haven't gotten there yet, but it's on the table. So Dave, why don't you tell us about the last bit?
All right, so I am playing Lefty Lawson. He is part machine, part man, part miner, all man-sheen, which is basically this world's version of a cyborg. He had a tragic mining accident, but he's moved on since then, and he's found a kindred spirit in Nova, who is also a man-sheen, I believe. This appears to be anyway. She's got cybernetic components, and also she has a massive weapon of mass destruction that is her arm that I've been trying to get her to activate and use against her enemies. And also, I've been trying to convince her that she's in danger with the Legion, and that me and her need to flee. And pretty much, I think that was most of last session. Rescue from bounty hunter bug people who actually shot us down, and also we whipped our asses in a space combat. That pretty much covers it.
Absolutely. This group has definitely found an affinity to find themselves into their own particular situation, which is why I love them all. So with that, where we last left off, everybody were heading their way back to the headquarters of the Salty Blue Dogs. I know it was said previously Skylar had removed their disguise to kind of grab the attention of the bounty hunters. Can I very safely assume when you catch a moment you redisguise yourself as you make your way back towards the or would you just travel as you are?
I think Skylar just like throws the hood up and puts the visor down, so it's like harder to see who she is. Just like, visor, glasses, hood of the jacket, like it's enough for now, I would think.
Absolutely. It's absolutely enough. Like I said, I'm just throwing that out there to make sure
yeah, because makeup's a lot and makeup might be scarce given the situation we're in, right? So I'm trying to be sparing with certain things.
Listen, for a dude that tried makeup once, yeah, I know it could be a whole thing. All right. So I totally get it, dude. So yeah, as you guys make your way through this landscape, you guys are making your way through the back alleys, and you reach the door, and as you make entry, who's taking point in the doorway?
I'm going to take up the rear guard.
Not it.
I'm fine going first. Although I think Mara might be more inclined.
You know what? That's fair.
Mara's,
I'm the tank. I can't do crap for damage, but I can take a hit. Let's go.
So, as the person who goes through the door, they're like, okay. Big letters, cool. They see a bunch of people and they're like, hold on, right here. You two, step off to the side. They signal over to Skylar and Nova to make their way to the side. Wait here. The individual goes back to the room. And you see the individual Crow. If you don't recall, he was the individual that gave you information that Bart is up for a particular auction and whatnot. And he says to you, like, you two, please identify yourselves.
Which two?
Skylar and Nova.
Is this somebody we trust, like from the Salty Bulldogs, or is this not somebody we've met?
Oh, it's the head dude, the person that took you guys in. So no insight roll needed. He's specifically pointing you guys out because he's never seen this version of Skylar. He's seen Talus.
Oh, right, gotcha.
And he's never seen Nova. So he's like, I see these dudes. Who are you two?
So Skylar will smirk and just lift the glasses. The name's Skylar, and I am a little bit of a face, and pulls out the blue makeup that they have. Just kind of like, twirls it between the fingertips.
Ah. He moves over to your side and like, your ears are more adjusted than normal. Do you do this often? That's just good.
When I feel like it.
There might be a place for you with blue dogs.
I'm open.
Espionage is something that we're in need of.
I'm open to discussing it further at another time, if you're interested. But formal introductions aside, Skylar, he, she, they, and offers a hand.
He literally extends his hands to Crow. There's a firm, strong handshake. And this one, is she in charge?
She is. She's our charge.
Okay, I see.
And for questions related to her, you might ask her herself.
Well, without having a quick one-on-one dialogue with myself, that's pretty vain of myself. What I'll do is Crow is gonna look across the room, and the first person to respond that would more or less be the foster parent of this person he'll talk to.
I think Lefty should, because he's actually got like the most rapport with the girl.
I would definitely say Nova.
You don't say you and me against the world and not mean it, Dave. Not to a cyborg orphan. Go on.
So what about her?
Who is she?
Does it matter? She's with us. We're looking after her. Her foster father. I just kind of give a look. She needs someone to look out for her.
Okay. No worries. I don't know if we can look out for her, but she is safe here. That is back in the shore.
She's also pretty good at taking care of herself. She'll surprise you. She'll surprise you for a kid. And I kind of tousle her
hair. Crow kinds of like takes a knee for a second to kind of look down at Nova and says, what adventures have you been on, young lady? She says, I've done tons of stuff. Have you ever flown a ship into a building? It's one of the most gnarliest things I've been a part of. Crow looks up to Lefty and says, wow, I do have to say, she does hold her own.
Well, sometimes desperate situations call for desperate measures.
Completely. And let's just say we're all a little desperate here.
Speaking of that and companions, where is ours? The one that your gentleman so gently took care of last time.
Ours?
Flask.
Oh,
one you knocked out.
Yes, apologies. Walks up on the talkie. Yeah, please bring him out, And Blast reconvenes with the party.
So this is the the thanks I get is just sitting there, like, rubbing my head for, bringing somebody back to life.
It's apologies. I mean, the underground fights are unsanctioned, so we do what we can
No,
to
it was
scout the
the
talent.
it was the after fight that during the fight I was fine. The treatment
Well,
thereafter that makes a man look towards home.
apologies. I mean, we were told you were all formidable. So I instructed my people to be as firm as possible. I didn't expect that to happen to you. Inflicting injury was not part of our intention.
Hey, got it. It was not part of the plan to rough up the winners.
Well, to be fair, Flash, they only really roughed up you. Apparently, they used the wrong bag on you or something. They must use that in a kidnapping in the past, and there's some residue in there. You're a scientist. What do you think that was?
Unlike anything I've seen before, is there anything that I might be able to ascertain, Carlos?
It's definitely a little bit of chloroform in there. Hint of it. You know the chemical compound of chloroform. If you ever need to make it at a pinch, you know how to do so.
Okay.
Well,
Turns over to Buckaroo. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So what is going on now? There's apparently a bit of time where I was not with it, so I look to the party.
You missed the young child running out unsupervised, getting into trouble, and we had to save her tail. Now, if I do believe the clock is ticking in order for us to meet our deadline, is it not?
He Crow looks at his watch and says, "Well, it's still pretty early into dusk, so I think we may want to either go over a plan or at least prep for how we'll go about this. We have some provisions for you guys, considering you're going to an auction." He looks over straight to Mara, and then over to Buckaroo, very confused.
What is your major malfunction?
My malfunction is I was told the person with the red nose is in charge. Yet you weren't here before, and they were.
Oh, right. It is actually their nose. I just took it because he was knocked out and one of us needed to do the talking. You can go ahead and deal with him. It's fine.
The nose is the seat of power. Everyone knows this.
Yeah, and they've got it again. So
he's holding up an item that you all know to be a cred stick. He's like trying to figure out who to give it to.
You can give it to one of the flesh bags.
I'm giving it to you, Brian, because the cat just walks across your table. Extra points. Since you have the nose and the cat walks across the table just now, he hands over to you a cred stick.
I immediately plug it in so I can assess how many credits are on the cred stick.
1,000.
Do you not have more sufficient funds? I hear that things will be going for quite a bit at this auction.
He looks around and says,
"You do know you get what you pay for."
Look, I do know we get what we pay for, but maybe we could figure something out. Only because, like, there are things happening. I mean, we are running low on everything. What you got in your hands, buddy, is our hope. It's everything we got.
Understood.
That
will-
and your 3 grenades.
3 grenades. I believe someone else may want the grenades. I've got something that can go boom already. Legion, would any of you like the grenades?
I'll never turn down an explosive.
Just a quick heads up. I made some janky ruling last time saying it's just going to require a DR12 presence test to use, since you're kind of lobbying it at an opponent. It's one-time use, of course, per grenade, and it's D10 damage if it goes off successfully. So all right, cool. Look,
Do you have a plan since you are providing the accommodations?
look. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm perfectly fine. I don't care if you steal it. I don't care if you buy it. I don't care if you kill the son of a bitch that does buy it. It makes no difference to me. The only thing that matters is Bart cannot get it.
I think that's something we agree on for sure.
I like the idea of checking all 3 boxes.
It's settled. We prepare the best we can, and for whatever does happen, he turns over to the rest of the Legion. We will do whatever it needs to be done to make sure we win. Failing is not an option. When that stone is gone, if Park gets his hands on it, the wastelands will see years worth of his tyranny.
You have a hollow image of the item that he will be bidding on so that we can make sure that we are going after the right item.
Absolutely. He
You just muted.
is that better? No.
There we go. Yep.
Cool, good stuff. He moves you all to the back room and says, look, this is the stone of worms. Enters in a code, pops it off, and you see kind of like a tiny pillar of what looks like a worm, but on the outside of it, it's encased in stone. It is floating 360 style around. I hope you are able to get it.
We are the best that you have. This should not be a problem.
You guys are the only that I got. I hope it comes to that. I hope you guys are the best.
I can promise you one thing. Win, lose, or die. It's going to be interesting.
Turns over to the lefty. You got it, Mara.
Huh?
I was gonna say something, but we were about to say something at the same time, and I said, "Oh, you got
Oh
it."
no, yeah, I was just gonna agree that it sure will be, and then I noticed somebody had at me in the chat.
And then he turns over to Lefty and says, "Well, you remember, buddy, you asked to pilot my plane. I say you get the stone, take that joint off for a spin."
Oh, I'll take it for a spin. All right.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. I'll leave you guys to your prep.
Information do we have on this location?
You know it's gonna take place in a facility. This place is guarded, but because it is guarded, ran, and used by the majority of the underworld, there are a lot of unknowns of what can happen. On the surface level, it looks as a normal operating establishment. From a deeper look, though, there are probably some individuals that can either be bribed or coerced to see things your way.
I'm looking at this as, is this a snatch and grab? Is this a whole endeavor, to set up layers of this and that's, or are we hoping that we can go in and have 1,000 credits and win the auction?
Not that.
So only one way to find out.
From as much as they want this piece, I do not think 1,000 credits will stop them from getting it.
Have 1,000 credits to burn on supplies, bribes, and what have you, that could allow us to get into the right places and have the right people look the right way, or whatever.
Who's the head of the Bulldogs again?
Crow.
Sorry, one more time.
Crow, the individual.
Oh, Crow. Crow. What can you tell? What do you know about the auction? Like how it works, parameters, technology involved.
Technology. Look,
I mean, are we using paddles with numbers on them, or is there keypads?
Of course. And he looked at you guys been to auctions before, right?
We're a little out of touch with the times.
I see. Well, as he goes through the mundanities of like explaining an auction using paddles with numbers assigned to you and your group, or any individuals that may enter looking to actually bid, he says and concludes, that's all surface level. Around you, you have people that probably want you dead without even know they want you dead. You best watch yourself in there. You thought the matches were tough? Ah. That's how we, separate the wheat from the chaff.
Is this something that we need an invitation to attend?
So happy you ask. As he passes you another card with, it just has a set of numbers. 3820.
Memorize this. 3820. That is our bidding number, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
For our group.
Yeah.
I
However-
say, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you all think one of us or two of us should go and bid while the rest goes around and tries to attain the item from the wherever the stock room is?
I mean, if we're gonna be coming in, then it would be awfully suspicious if some of us weren't sitting on the benches.
True.
So here's the thing. We don't need to legitimately acquire this.
No.
We could, in theory, because this is an auction, there's more than one item there, right?
Yes.
There's got to be things in cases and boxes and whatnot. If one of us were to stow away in said place, then we could be taken to where all the objects are stored once they're sold, because they're put in, or at least back in our time, they put everything into a vault. And then looks to Crow, correct me if any of this is wrong, by the way, I'm used to the way auctions work in our world. So after
Absolutely.
everything
Sounds
is
reasonable to me.
after something is sold, it gets taken to a secure location that it can be accessed after payment is made. So if we were to station someone outside of said location and station someone inside said location, it would be relatively easy to procure the object that way. And then our eyes in the crowd could, in theory, keep watch for us. And we all have comms, so we can communicate with each other.
Yeah, that sounds good. Whoever's sitting in the crowd is going to need some kind of safe word in case there's an emergency, because it's probably not a good idea to just blatantly be like, hey, there's trouble, just in case we need to be a little subtle about it. So what is the word for there's danger? What is the word for there's danger for you? And what is the word for now they are auctioning off the object in question?
How about Oz, Poppy's, Red Slippers?
Okay.
Oz, there's
Okay.
danger. Poppy's, there's danger for you. Red Slippers, they're auctioning the item.
The poppies would not affect me, for I do not breathe in their toxins.
That makes perfect sense.
So how are we
Skylar's just
getting?
taking this totally sincerely, by the way.
How are we getting our inside person on the inside?
Well, I
mean-
suspect probably Flasker, I would have to be that person because we are probably the most foldable and stealthy. No offense, but you and Mara are built like trucks, and Buckaroo is not far off with their treads. So what do you think, Flask? What's your say in all this? You're really like, you're the cunning chemist here. You might know something I don't.
I would not be. I wouldn't have a problem if I were stuffed in a box to try and go locate said object. I would just, like there to be some kind of extraction plan for when things go sideways, because they always do.
That's fair. Maybe I should be the one on the outside then, since I could hack in and try to unlock it.
He Crow's gonna comment the blast extraction plan and says the auction's supposed to last 2 hours. Tell you what, we'll wait 2 hours. Come out, get your extraction. You don't come out in 2 hours. You gotta find a way to extract yourselves. Deal?
Deal?
All right. So, what is everybody doing up until the point of the actual operation.
They don't have any sort of battery, like any generators here, do they?
As you kind of scoot your way around looking for a charging port. Clear junior officer says, "Hey, buddy, there's something I can help you with?"
I have reduced some of my energy levels and would like to try and recharge if you have a place that I might be able to plug in.
Yeah. You need a top off? Okay, well, right over there, you see where this mechanical person's walking down. You see kind of like a blue docking in, almost kind of like a Borg's Bay,
Okay.
getting plugged in. You're going to want to use a charging station that looks like that. It's green. Avoid the ones that are red.
Yes.
They haven't been set up yet properly, but all right.
Fantastic. Thank you.
No problem, sir.
I'm going to go. I am feeling not fully charged. I'm going to go and make sure that I'm ready. I'm performing at the best of my ability when it comes to our upcoming event.
Stuff. What would everyone else like to do?
Get food for Flask, Lefty, and myself. If there's
Nova.
food, drink available, Nova definitely.
Sure. So as all this is happening, you kind of can I assume you're gonna take food for everybody up there? So you make your way to the mess hall and you pick up a standard tray and you're just packing it on. And you see this, you see somebody, oh, buddy, whoa, one per person. What are you doing?
Getting food
Yeah, for what, your family?
for myself, and yes, actually.
Okay. You're one of the new folks that came in, right?
Yes. Skylar, he, she, they.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? You call me, just call me Auntie.
Auntie?
Auntie,
Lovely to meet you, Auntie.
not a problem.
Are you the local cook here?
Best cook you'll see on this side of the slums.
I believe that. I'm sorry, by the way, I don't know if did you want me to offer you something in exchange, or maybe I can help do the dishes?
No, you're fine, you're fine. Crow told us about guests and visitors. I just didn't think be so soon we'll see everybody. But hey, I mean, by all means, you know, you do what you gotta do. But next time, just tell everyone to come down and grab their own, just so there's no issues. As she kind of points over to the rest of the soldiers in the unit, saying like, it looks like I'm getting special treatment, but
right. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, of course. I'm just gonna run this up.
As you almost apologizes, Auntie looks at the rest of the soldiers with a mean ass scowl. And for certain the soldiers just kind of like look past it like this. Look, they're rookies, they're new, they're hungry, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If we succeed, hopefully it will make everything just a little bit easier for everyone.
Absolutely. Listen, Crow has control of the base.
Yeah.
I have control of the mess hall. Anyone that walks through these doors follows my rules. You got that, sweetheart?
Oh, of course, that makes perfect sense. That's why it must be so clean in here.
Damn straight. I keep a good communication.
I appreciate that. If you ever want some help, let me know.
She gives you a nod, pinches your cheek, kind of like gives you like an endearing kind of tap on the other side of the cheek. And says, "Sweetheart, you go feed your friends, all right?"
I will. Thank you. And keep doing what you're doing. You're clearly doing a good job, or they wouldn't all be down here angry that I'm taking so much.
Listen, man, as long as they know, as she turns off to look at who's in charge of this particular wing. Everything's fine and dandy. Don't you worry about it.
Thank you.
When
And Skylar will go, I love this because I know this lady. Like in real life, I know this lady. So yeah, Skylar will go and take food up to probably Nova and Lefty first, just because Nova. And if Flask is there, give it to Flask. Otherwise, go find Flask after and give it to Flask. And, you know, just trying to be pleasant and lift spirits with everything because of all the stuff. And whenever Skylar gets to Flask, wherever that is, Skylar will just mention to Flask, like, hey, I hope you weren't upset that I kind of took over with the planning. I just know that with you having been knocked out and everything, and you've been going through a lot, I was trying to help you, you know, not have so much on your plate.
No problems. I mean, I would love to have more information if it's available before we set out. But if it's not really available, then we'll just have to play it by ear and less thinking through.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well,
how are you holding up with all of this? We haven't really had much chance to breathe, let alone discuss what all of this means for those of us that are catapulted as we've done.
it's been a lot of new experiences. And maybe part of it is I don't have memories to fall back on when it comes to things like consequences for my actions. But I cannot let that horrible man win. We cannot let that horrible man win. And I refuse to give up on the idea that maybe these worms that we encountered before that brought back the dead couldn't be used for some kind of good. They have to be able to be used for something to help fix this.
Well, science can only take us so far. There are things out in this world that we don't fully understand, even with all of the advances and all of the knowledge that we have. And these worms are new to us. We don't know everything that they can do. I would love to introduce our lovely target to one of these or multiple of these if I could get my hands on them. But
yeah,
I wish to do more than just defeat this Bart. His reign should not be everlasting with this stone, but ending if we can make that happen.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe neuromancy can bridge some of the gaps that science can't quite make.
I have fiddled and fooled around with things. I don't know all the things that he's done, but he's got far more at his disposal than we could ever hope to have. So I am not certain how this plan is going to go, and I am certainly worried that all we are doing is going to our doom.
Well, if we're going to our doom, then at least we tried.
There is that.
Live in the moment, right?
Of course.
With that, I'm gonna ask Lefty, what are you doing
So
in this preparation?
if possible, when Skylar comes back with the food, I'm not there. I want to try and slip out.
Sure. You
Uh,
have free reign in the compound.
Okay, well, I want to slip out of the compound. I want to
Okay.
I want to go mingle in the general populace and start spreading the rumor that who's the guy we hate? What's his name again?
Bart.
Bart. Yeah, I hate him so much I banished his name from my mind. The folks that Bart has put out the hit on are going to be where they're going to be at that location, and I'm going to give them the time and the place, and they're going to be in disguise. But I can't bring them down alone. Anyone that's pissed Bart off that much are some tough sons of bitches.
Nice.
And I'm going to basically try and get the mob back together to want to storm it at that time, and I'll let them know that I'm going to infiltrate it, and I'll point out who they are.
So, like, literally, like, can I safely assume as you go about this, you go back to the Wild West bar and start the rumor there?
Yes.
You see the old man previously, kind of like, oh,
Oh,
how you doing, Bill?
know what? I probably wouldn't go back there because that's where we had our. Is that a different bar than where we had the meetup?
It's the same bar.
It's the same bar. Yeah, I don't think I want to go back there because I don't want to get recognized by the Flying Bulldogs.
Cool.
Doing what I'm doing.
Okay. So
I'll find
can-
other dive bars.
not hard to find here.
Yeah,
You know,
when you're in a bad neighborhood, there's always plenty of two things: churches and bars.
bars. So absolutely, man. Like, you can find a dive bar negative issue for the whole thing, and they're like, "So, buddy, what's got you today?" You see a fellow pounding one back.
I'm gonna look for more people that are a little rougher. I want to look for. Is this the bartender or is this?
Yeah, this is the bartender, man.
Hey, seen any of them hired guns around here?
He doesn't say a word, but he points the glass that he's cleaning towards the corner of the room, and then goes back to cleaning the glass in a normal fashion.
All right, so I'll kind of saunter over there and pull up a chair and slam it down and kind of sit on it backwards and look around. And so, what kind of folks do we have here?
I know I said this last time, but for millennial reference, you got folks from the Salty Spittoon right here. Long story short, these are hardened individuals, gruffy. Go for it.
All right.
He ate a bowl of nails for breakfast this morning without any milk.
Yes, that is correct. Guy ate a bowl of nails, no milk.
Ate the nails and spit out bullets.
Hell yeah. He looks
So-
at you, Lefty. Got a death wish, buddy.
You might say that. I've looked death in the eye and embraced her, but unfortunately, she threw me back. I slapped down my metal arm on the table. But actually, what I do have is a business proposition.
This other individual slaps his metal arm on the table. What proposition is that?
You seen those fools that crossed Bart?
God damn, man. 5,000 dead.
I got a good line where they're gonna be and when. But they're gonna be in disguise, and also anyone that's pissed Bart off that much, he's got to put out a hit like that, they're not going to be easy to bring down. I don't think I can do it by myself.
But I think you drunk too much. That's
I
what I
wish.
think.
Well, if you're not interested, that's fine. I get up, they start to leave.
As you start getting up, the dude's metal arm goes across your metal arm. We never said you can go just yet. As he just holds Lefty's left side arm.
Yeah. So I guess like with my right arm, it goes behind my back. I pull out my double-ended bang stick and put it under his chin. I go where I want when I want.
I see. You could fire, but then as the individual surrounding him pulls their artillery on you.
So it looks like either way, me and you are in a catch-22.
Buddy, you spout a lot of hope out your mouth with nothing to show for it. You want us. Let me get this straight. You want us to practically waste ourselves on what? I'm perfectly fine sitting here drinking my drink long before you showed up.
Well, that's fine. I thought you might want to earn some more creds, that's all. Look like proper businessmen to me. I gave a smirk.
I'm perfectly fine with business. Just saying. Just saying. Is there any guarantee you can give us besides he looks you up and down, your good word?
Have you heard of the Flying Bulldogs?
Damn, we heard the Flying Bulldogs.
They're running with them. Some crow fella back here.
Guy turns over. Even though you have a gun underneath his chin, he almost don't give a fuck. Kind of like, yeah, whatever. You know, yeah. Literally slips his chin right underneath your gun snug tight one more time. It looks right back at you. You ain't bullshitting me, right? Give me a DR10 presence test.
I'm lying, I'm dying. Oh, fuck, dice. Ooh, that's a 19 on the die.
Yeah.
I believe it, man. So he looks at you right in your face and says, like, you know what? You're clearly somebody who's been down on his luck before. Looks you up and down with your metal arm. Looks as he looks you up and down, looks at his metal arm. I get it. You were chewed up, spit out, weren't you?
I kind of like with one fluid motion. I holster my shotgun back to where it was, buddy. If
he raises as you do it. He raises his arm to call his men to stop pulling guns at you as well.
If it wasn't for bad luck, buddy, I wouldn't have any luck at all. But I think that's all about to change.
What you're looking for, cut?
Just equal share. I give you the time, the place. I'll get in there with them and I'll point them out to you once you guys storm the joint.
Makes sense to us.
And you'll find I'm handy at mixing it up too.
One question though, before we parlay. How did you get this information per se? From the Bulldogs or?
I snuck into one of their tryouts and witnessed the group worm their way into the Bulldogs.
As you say that, like, you know what? That makes sense. You were there last night, right, Carly? Turned over. Lefty, you clearly know this individual, Charlie, to be the person that has thrown a slushy at Flask. You clearly can see this is who this person is. Like, like, yeah, it's true. He was there. Right then. The time and place will bring the hell.
So I will give him the location and the time of the auction. But I won't tell him it is an auction or anything else that's going down.
Nice. Okay.
I think they're trying to pull one of those fast ones like they did on Bart. The last that got him into the hot water to begin with.
Sounds good. All right, buddy. Gives you a quick nod. And he sits back down to enjoy his drink.
With that,
And then orders to the bartender, let me get a double, actually. I feel a good payday coming.
kind of tip my claw to him, and then I'll head on out. I'm going to take a very roundabout way of getting back to the compound, and I'm definitely going to keep my eye open for any stragglers or anyone following me.
Absolutely. You, excuse me, are able to, so you do notice, the person that threw a slushy over at Flask was following you for a little bit, but you were able to manage to lose the individual. Very confidently able to lose the individual after making some abouts around. At that point, Mara, is there anything you wish to do before we get into it?
No, I think we got it covered.
Flask, I know Skylar involves you in a quick one-to-one, but is there anything particular you wanted to do, perform before getting into
So
it?
is there any way to gain any information on the location, the people that are gonna be there?
So the location itself was already given.
No, I'm like not like, oh, where is it, but like details of the building, floor maps, anything useful that we can have in advance can allow us to possibly be like, all right, well, if this happens, we do this. If this happens, we do that. That makes any
so
sense.
so as you go over this with Crow, he explains for a moment, like, these auctions happen randomly at random locations. Details are only given a day in advance, but it just so happens this auction is actually happening at a old location I used to frequent. It's kind of an old comedy club back when there were things to laugh about. And it gives you a location of the first floor and the second floor. First floor area is kind of like a straight bar type vibe scenery, stairs leading up to a comedy club area where there are rows of seats laid out for individuals to sit on. The stage where this auction will happen has a back room behind the curtains that does lead to an emergency exit. But he does preface to you, look, if I know this, there ain't no doubt they know this. So you're gonna make your way. Here's all the information I can't give you. Hope it's
That
useful.
I'll take what I can get.
Certainly. All right.
I'll take the information and I'll try to, take it back to the crew to begin plotting and planning as best as possible.
With that, we want to go straight into this thing, or do everybody wish to discuss how they would go about it?
Did Buckaroo get a chance to do something?
I was just charging. Because I couldn't eat last time, so I couldn't restore any hit points previously.
Oh, okay.
Mara,
Yes.
is there anything you want to do?
Not particularly. I'm vibing.
I think I'm good.
I wonder what else we'll be able to pick up at the auction.
Good point.
I hope there's pudding.
We
Says
do
Mara,
need
who does not eat pudding.
we do need some way to get off of this rock.
Oh yeah, that's
Mm.
kind of important. We have been kind of stuck here for a long time.
Yeah. But even if we get off this rock, where are we going? Like, we aren't in our time right now. We don't belong here.
No. But we don't not belong here.
That's true. It's not like we fell backward in time. We went the way that we would have been going anyway, just a little farther than we would have gotten on our own, or at least than you would have gotten on your own. I would have survived this long.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Mm.
do we want to go back? Maybe that's another question. Maybe that's another question for another day. Like,
Is
I
there
don't
even
have
a way
anything
back?
to.
As this is happening, and Nova here, Skylar asked that question, do we want to go back? And Nova says, can we?
I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know. Like, Jax told stories about when he would tell stories about a time where things weren't the way things were.
If we traveled forward in time, we should, in theory, be able to travel backwards in time.
I mean, I don't know. He kept saying it was a dream and a kid's fairy tale anyway, so maybe this is what it is.
Well, and if it makes you feel any better, Nova, things weren't perfect where we came from either. People were still greedy. People still used what they had and what they could do to try to hurt other people and force themselves into places of power. And people don't really change. Things around you change, but
That
people-
sounds no different from now. It's no different then.
not really. I mean, Mara and Lefty might be able to tell you better about some of it. But, you trade one version of greed and hubris for another.
You what? As she's trying to ascertain the word meaning of hubris.
Oh, pride.
Ah,
People thinking they're better than other people. Like,
ah.
and I'm not saying that it's all gloom and doom either. In fact, when you realize and accept a lot of these kind of things, it lets you just feel free to live in the moment, which is nice.
I would like to live the moment.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want to ask about the before times, I'm sure any of us could answer. But if you want to know about how it was basically the same, Mara and Lefty, and maybe Buckaroo a little bit, can tell you basically that.
Okay.
Just be careful around Buckaroo. I'm not sure he has your safety in his priorities, gives Buckaroo side eye.
I have priorities.
Nova says, I was told by someone I should take us some training, target practice, if you will. So I'm gonna go do that. She specifically turns over to Lefty and says, please come back. And slowly gives you a hug.
Aww.
As she does, don't worry, kid. I'm planning to come back for you, and I got a plan. We're gonna fix all of this.
She just nods and all right, I gotta go. It's 11:00. As she runs to where target practice is supposed to be taking place.
Who is she target practicing with?
Fang. You guys met her in the last adventure.
Is it
Sorry,
time for us to go?
I would say so. So, as you all make your way toward this locale, the smoke of stogies is thick in the air. You clearly see people indulging themselves in beverage. And let's just say sales happening off in the corner. If you guys make your way through, bouncer person says, gotta invite.
That is correct. We are 3820.
It's on the list.
Of course, it's on the list.
Yep. Hands you over a paddle.
I didn't think it was that kind of party.
You getting funny with me?
I am in clown makeup, am I not?
You know what? You ain't the first Joker I've seen tonight. Just walk on through.
What? Keep rolling in.
That was great. Thank you for that. As everyone else walks through, you all you're all greeting with the bar locale. Music is blaring. People are ordering drinks at the bar. You definitely, Flash, see the stairs that would lead up to the auction area. The one prominent figure was a slender lady with blonde hair and a red tight dress with a little bit of a scarf was mentioned to you as well. If I didn't give it to you, I'd definitely give it to you now. This individual was the point person for the auction, the auctioneer, if you will. As you see them enjoying a beverage off into the corner.
Do people seem to be like armed, like most people have weapons on them, or most people like what sort of attire are most people in? Is this more of a high society thing, or
This is kind of like a high society sort of location. And though they may not look like they're not armed. I want to remind you, the bouncer didn't check nor care if you guys were carrying. He just said, "What's your number?" That's it, and kept it moving. So, yeah. What would people like to do?
Worst bouncer ever.
He announces, the lady that Flask, you notice, announces auctions will take place in roughly 15 minutes. Everyone get ready. You see some people, and by some I mean very few individuals, making their way up to the room, maybe getting a preferred seat, but not too many individuals are in a hurry. You see a bunch of them still waiting at the bar, looking for their drinks.
Do we see anybody we recognize? Or more specifically, that maybe Mara or Skylar would recognize?
You definitely see two bots. One by the name of Ender, one by the name of Garf. If you guys recall from the interaction over at Bart's locale, Bart called out Ender and Garf to show, yeah, I have robotic technology too. What of it? So you see those persons there, but you see they're repainted. A very shitty paint job, almost like the person painting them almost didn't even care. Hell, half their opticals that should be not painted are painted, but Mara would clearly know. Mara and Buckaroo would know that's not how they see. You know? So it almost didn't matter to the painter. Yeah.
Skylar will whisper to Flask, calm me when you're in something and let me know what you're in. And I would like to sneak away to find the vault.
Sure thing. If you don't mind me asking, just to make it clear, can I safely assume Mara is dressed as a strapping young lad, sombrero type of shit?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. The big
Almost
hat,
like
the stupid clothes, yeah.
the good,
Gotta-
bad, and ugly.
Gotta be disguised.
So
And can I very safely assume Skylar is as well as Talus?
Yeah.
I figure I asked when I
Yep.
make sure that's clear. Cool.
so we had the idea of, like, having a crate brought in. So I don't know how much pre-game, that was really there, but I imagine I'm already boxed up. If that's an acceptable thing, whether I'm outside or not.
Sure thing.
if you were already boxed up, could I have already given Flask my nose? Because I did recharge, which would mean that it would have a one-time use where if he squeezed it, he could shut down all the batteries in that space for some time.
Sure
That'd be cool.
thing. Sure exact thing. But if you don't, since now knowing you don't have the nose as you're walking in,
I still have the shitty clown makeup.
yeah, sure thing, no problem.
Yeah.
The bouncer, as you walk it in, he kind of puts his hand on you for a second, saying like, get that cleaned up. As he's noting your scar that you're.
Yes, I lost the cover up. Perhaps there will be something at auction that I can get to pretty my face.
I got something right here. Is he kind of like, pulls out. Anything can pretty you up, man. Don't you worry. Hell,
Thank
a
you.
few drinks back in the corner will pretty you up. But yeah, that's just the right kind from the interaction. Means negative bearings. And is there anything black? You're in a crate. Is there anything Lefty, Mara, or Skylar would like to do while this is happening?
That's my fault.
So I guess Lefty's gonna take up a position like closer to the back, closer to where we came in from.
1, 2, either side of the door.
And well, so Buckaroo's got our paddle, right? So you're gonna be doing our bidding. And I'm gonna be sitting in the back corner closer to the door, but not like but in one of the seats, right? One of the bleachers or whatever the setup is. Not like something weird. Like I'm not gonna go stand next to the bouncer. That would be weird.
But all that's upstairs, right? Because this is just the cocktail, like the drink, the bar downstairs, right?
Or is this where the auctions actually
The auction's happening on the top level.
happen? Okay, well that's where I want to go, to where the auction is.
Sure thing.
And is Mara going there? Where is Mara going to be?
I was just gonna take up the opposite side of the door from you if you're like surveying the room as you said, but I had just kind of assumed that I was gonna be the one like sitting in the crowd doing the bidding. Since, code words.
There's no reason why you and Buckaroo can't. It's just whoever raises up the paddle with the number.
Okay, so I will be there to use the comm and give the code words if that becomes necessary.
I was just picturing Mara and Buckaroo fighting over the paddle.
That is my paddle. That is my paddle.
I mean, it's interchangeable. Whoever owns that paddle can
No,
bid on it.
you have the nose, you have the paddle.
I don't
want
have
to
the
keep
nose
a lookout
anymore.
for trouble and punch
Flask
things.
has the nose.
Flask has the nose. Flask is now in charge.
Oh god.
All right, new Legion. New Legion rule: whoever has the nose is the leader.
I mean, yeah, it's basically the crowd. Okay, yeah, I'm still gonna just like do my security thing and let people know if there's trouble. Like unless you guys are more expecting trouble where you're going, but I'm not exactly subtle, so I'm not a good person to bring on the sneaky part of the mission.
And correct me if I'm incorrect. Talus wanted to find said vault.
Yes.
Alrighty. So as all this is happening, as everyone's getting settled down in the area, you see the lady saying, "All right, bidding will take place in 5 minutes." As she makes her way to the back room, please give me an agility test for sneakiness.
Okay. Oh, that's a 5 base. That's not great.
Well, the DR12.
It's a +2.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, everybody except for Flask is in the immediate. Correct me if I'm incorrect, Flask. You're not in the immediate area. You're just in a shipping container. Is that correct?
I should be in a shipping container right outside. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully we've got some kind of plan of how I'm getting, inside the vault. We'll see what happens.
It's things will happen. I can guarantee you that.
I'm sure of that.
Listen, anyone watching, another DM tip: listen closely to what your players are saying and act on it. Anywho, so I'm gonna reiterate the way I roll with favors and re-rolls and shit like that. If you're in the same room, which I believe you plus 3 other of your legionnaires are in the room, um you, if anyone wants to spend a favor to.
I think I'm gonna spend a favor because I care enough about this. So that's a little better. That's 12.
Well, bear in, baby. So
Okay.
as you make your way through, she says, "All right, it's starting in 5 minutes." She makes her way through the back room. You kind of like Homer Simpson your way through into the shadows, like, yeah, you know. And you notice her. She's kind of like, ugh. She takes off a wig, and you notice it's not a her, it's actually a he. And kind of like, oh, God damn it. Can't be doing this.
Is it sad that Skylar really wants that wig?
Not sad at all, but you notice this individual is definitely taking a bathroom break. What do you do with that?
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna pull a Robin and do a bonobo roll to see if I can resist. I cannot resist. I want to go in and try to steal some makeup and disguise shit. I will not steal the wig though, because I am not that stupid.
A queen's wig is her soul. It's like samurai rules.
Right.
So I would say in this current interim where like everyone's sort of getting ready in the auction in the back room and stuff, no one's really paying too much attention to what you're doing per se.
Mhm.
So as you're kind of stuffing that shit in your bag, like, yeah, you have enough material for another disguise.
Yes. Excellent.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna sneak away to try to find more, to find the vault. Basically, I'm gonna stay on track. I'm gonna stay on task. I'm gonna find the vault, even though now I'm in my rogue mode. I've just discovered the joy of playing rogues in TTRPGs. Just so you know.
Nice. I'm dealing with a rogue in my Curse of Strahd game, you know. Anyway,
Right.
so with all that, like as you go throughout your area trying to find the vault, you successfully find the vault, but because it's not hard to find, this is kind of like a one-track area, you know what I mean? All action is funneling towards that area. But you do notice a hallway where like you see some people guarding some location, passing items in, waving them off and whatnot, checking for IDs and stuff like that. With that, if you don't mind me breaking this up,
Totally valid.
you notice a particular crate being dragged in. This particular crate, was marked by Flask, so you kind of the security guards kind of hand off the area, like scan the box, check their pad. All right, it's good. As you see them wheel this particular crate in, Flask, you feel the sudden stop and whatnot. You hear the beep with the scanner as you kind of like feel your way being pulled into an area.
Okay. I'll start listening. I want to, like, when I feel like I've been set down and then I've heard a door close, that's when I'll give it a minute and then start opening up the crate.
So you definitely do hear a door close, opening, close as they're bringing shit inside. You
Okay.
know.
All right, then I'll just kind of relax for the moment and wait till I don't hear anything.
Absolutely. With that, as they're bringing shit in, and correct me if I'm incorrect, Mara and Lefty, no, not Lefty, excuse me, Mara and Buckaroo are in the crowd, getting ready to auction off, right?
Yes, I imagine we would probably be at the very back row so that we can see everybody in front of us, especially when trying to eyeball where Bart is or where Bart's proxy might be.
Because certainly he didn't come himself. He tried to hire us to do it. Why would he come personally now?
Right.
Which is valid.
Yeah. Trying to find who that might be. And also, if it's all chairs there, then we would be up against a back wall just because of my treads being too large for seats.
Absolutely. In fact, you have kind of a short saying like, "Oh, apologies for misaccommodations," as you see this area is not tread accessible.
You could move a few chairs in the back row to make it more accommodating.
Sure thing. As the guy kind of opens up his hands.
Plug the cred stick in and give him 2 cred sticks, two credits.
And he kind of like nods, thank you, as he sets everything up for you. And like, and you're set up in a prime location where you're not too far from Lefty, since Lefty was guarding the rear as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have that added security of one, having your area sectioned off with Mara, and having Lefty off to the side. But again, no one really knows besides me that's what's happening. Unless I fuck with you. Just kidding. But yeah, the individual lets you know, like, all you have to do is raise your pad, and after it's levitated after a certain sensor point, that's how the bids are tracked.
Do I look like this is my first rodeo?
I am so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. As someone's calling this other dude, but I do need to go.
Wait, hang on 1 second before you go.
Yes, sir.
We were supposed to meet our friend Bart's proxy here. Can you? But they did not tell me who they were sending. Have you seen them?
Kind of like, I wouldn't really know, but if you're friends with Bart, I'm pretty sure calling them up wouldn't be an issue. I really need to go.
Okay.
And just pointing it out that Mara definitely knows who was sent over, since they interacted with these individuals briefly in the crowd. Mara can definitely see they're kind of like in the middle of it, kind of like, yes, I know how to bid. Come on, man, it's not the first time ever. What if we took it? Shut up, you know we shouldn't do that. Kind of like little Ernie and Bert situation going on. But yeah. You see the individual kind of like coming back, like, Skylar, you see this person like, "Hey, showtime." They put on the wig. Showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most lustrous selections of lucrative items you will find on this side of the wastelands. At first up for our auction, we have the Eye of Truth, As you, Skylar, see in the visuals opening up the vault again. And people crating out. Kind of not really crating out per se, but just bringing up an item that, they're holding it up. And at this point, Skylar, no roll needed for insight. You've been in the back so long, they take you as one of their own. Since you haven't done anything goofy in all this time, they're kind of like, okay, fucking, they're just there. He's probably an intern.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit and try to get in with them. I'm gonna just shoot the shit with them.
Like talk as they're walking their way up to Sage.
Oh, I thought you meant like they're just chilling there, still guarding with me.
No, they're taking items from front to back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just kind of chilling, vibing, whatever. I will try to see if I can see inside to see if I can notice the thing we're looking for offhand.
Yeah, and tell you what, like these people will kind of like catch a vibe of like, oh, you definitely want to talk, but I can't right now. They see you're curious, and I'll be right back. As they take the item up front,
Mm-hmm.
and you see this madame, if you will, auctioning off the Eye of Truth. Let's start this bidding at 300 credits. With a singular gaze, this particular item can see through multiple items, multiple walls, multiple things in clothing. There is not a thing that can be hidden from this eye, as she demonstrates and points through, looks through a member of the crowd and says, "Ma'am, you might want to keep that private." As you see anyone in the crowd sees she's clearly blushing, like, and you see a paddle go for 300 credits. And you see some people bidding off as well. Would anyone in your particular legion take part in this bid after 350 credits?
Lots of creep shows, Mara.
So while this is going on, did you say it's
Too
like
many.
the vault is like behind a glass wall?
Well, the vault itself is secured off, and it's opening and closing as like, excuse me, as like items are being drafted in and out.
Okay.
Communications is still up with your entire legion, so there's negative doubt of what people is going on.
All right. Well, if somebody can give me the heads up of when I can move, I'll send that, over the comms of like, all right, give me a signal if I'm in the clear here.
I will prepare an action to do that if I see it.
No prep needed, but I appreciate the candor. So yes, as all this is happening, and as Talus can see what is happening through communication, through everything, there is no doubt. The vault opens and closes as items are being transported back and forth between the vault. But if there's a particular item being auctioned off, that is longer time for said thing to remain closed, since there are things in dispute.
Right. While they're gone at one of these junctures, can I try to hack into the vault's lock system just so I can quickly do it when I need to?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm just going to require a DR12 presence test.
Okay. That's an 18 on the die.
Yeah, I was about to say
24.
I was about to say this should not be hard for you whatsoever.
No, presence is my whole thing.
Absolutely. So you have quick access to the vault when needed. As
Cool.
you're kind of like digitally integrating yourself. One of the guards kind of like, no, I don't know. I mean, it looked like it opened, but these old things, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. And as is all happening, they're like, okay, saying, all right, let's just go through this whole thing. And the Eye of Truth has been bitted off. As you're kind of like seeing, like, Garfin, and they're kind of like, whatever, who cares? Not what we're here for, man. Another item is being auctioned off. An elixir of nightmares. If you ever want to make that special someone feel a little bit less so special, make sure they have bumps in the night every night. A little taste of this, and I can assure, ladies and gentlemen, and guys and gals, and non-binary pals, that these wares will make sure that things will go bump in the night. We'll start the bidding off as a pause for a second. 200 credits. Do I hear 250? As other people raise and lower their paddles.
I lean over and mumble to Buckaroo, do you think maybe we should early bid on something at some point so people don't think that we're just here for the one thing?
Perhaps, but nightmare fuel does not seem appropriate for bots.
No, not at all. I wasn't suggesting this one, just...
I love that
Yes.
I love that the emo bots are making the calls on what to grind.
Now we all have comms, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can hear this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, again, you're like 5 feet away from them, Lefty. You know what I mean?
I don't think it would be for you. I think you're supposed to give it to someone you don't like.
Oh, interesting. Maybe there will be an auction for some sort of vacation package.
Oh my god, it's The Price is Right all of a sudden.
Right. As like, you're like, yeah. And as moments are going off, they're kind of like, all right. No insight roll needed for anybody in the crowd. This was kind of a set and done deal. Almost like this was prearranged in regards of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna set the price like this, and I'll just call it, oh, I guess no one else wants it. Damn shame. And sold to the man with the lovely golden arm, as this individual like raises a drink, cocks it back. Flask, at this point in time, several items have gone to and fro.
Okay.
There is heavy bidding on something called Lightning in a Bottle.
Ooh.
If by any chance, for whatever reason, the people are interested in it in the crowd, what I'll definitely say is like, it is literally a spark of the universe trapped in a bottle. You can guarantee this will jumpstart.
He doesn't even finish.
Nope. I lost money.
Well, I mean, Flask will totally be interested in that because that's like science in a bottle, right?
That was lovely. God damn. That was the best reaction I think I got in this whole stream. All right, so bidding starts at And this person looks back. Let's start it at 350 credits. And do I hear 400 credits? You see an individual raise their paddle. Man,
How close are they to us?
uh, towards the adjacent side.
I look over at them, just kind of glare at them. The same stare I would have no matter what happens because the expression doesn't really change. But
Would Lefty and I guess Mara look over as well since you guys are in crowd?
Yeah, sure.
Lefty, you clearly know this person as Dr. Stone.
I'm going to shoot the paddle.
their paddle or our paddle?
Wait a minute. Dr. Stone. Wait a minute. Who's Dr. Stone again?
It's your backstory, dog.
Well, that's only part of the name, but yeah. It's Frankenstone or something like that. I have to look at my notes. Oh, yeah. If that's him, oh my God.
You see someone that definitely looks like him.
It's his kid.
I am going to go over to him and lean down and whisper into his ear. Whisper his name.
Yes, 400. What you want?
You don't remember me? I don't look familiar.
Not now.
Like,
So I'm sorry. As this guy did 400, does Buckaroo competitive? Do we see 450? Okay, so 450 raised up. What do you want?
so does he sound like him? Does it look? Is it, as far as I can tell, is it him?
His inflection is very goofy and not incorrect. It might be someone of like bloodline relation.
I'm very conflicted. I need to.
What you want?
Did you work for Grimm?
Grimm. Oh, that's the name I haven't heard in a while. The Galactic Research Institute for Mysterious Materials. And sold for 450. You guys are cool. So you can definitely take 450 credits off bag stick because
Lightning in a bottle.
now.
What do you know about Grimm?
You know you're gonna be in a bit of great news if you keep bothering me, son.
I am definitely going to put a shotgun right to his side. Like, I'm pretty bulky, so I'm going to try and, like, camouflage it a little bit. You're going to make time for me.
I see.
Don't you recognize the workmanship?
Looks a bit archaic, but yes.
Where do you know it from?
Oh my. Looks similar to what my papa would do. Great grandpapa, actually, but
Whatever happened to him?
kept going off about portals and things, but like a fool if you ask me. Led the entire corporation down into a shithole.
Yeah. Sorry. Thought you looked like somebody I knew. I kind of go back to my spot. Rooting.
Well, good day, fellow.
I was definitely close enough to him to possibly, give him a cold or something.
A cold?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what that's in reference of, but all right, dog.
Yeah.
Flask. At this point in time, you would know they're saying, and now we are auctioning off the prized possession out here. The Wormstone. Coveted ancient artifacts said to hold immense power. But as if you believe in the tales, you won't know until you acquire such a thing. But of course, you know this institute holds nothing but the most reputable of items. Let's start the bidding at 750 credits. At this point, Flask, you know for a fact the vault will remain closed for
Okay.
possibly a while as you hear crazy ass bids going off.
All right. Well, I want to start looking around and see what I can find.
So, as you already know, the way auctions works off, there are items that are held in the back. Eye of Truth was one of them. Lightning in a Bottle, which you know over comms was acquired by Buckaroo, and the Elixir of Nightmares. Can I make a very safe assumption you're going to nab it all?
So that was actually back there.
Well,
They brought
yeah, that's how auctions work. You take the things, auction it off, and then as you have a ticket to reacquire the item in a more secure location.
I would absolutely want to pocket the vial of nightmares.
Okay. Absolutely, you can add that to your inventory.
And you said the Eye of Truth is also, something small.
Indeed.
All right. Well, then I will absolutely nab both of those if they're
Plus the
out
bottle
easy.
lightning.
Did the credits automatically come off my cred stick when placing the final bid?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all tied into the paddle.
Sure. Okay. As since in bidding, then there will be insufficient funds.
Skylar,
So-
can you hack the paddles?
I don't know if I can do that.
You would need to be in physical contact of it to make it easier, but I would say you are in range. I'm just going to require a DR16 presence test.
2 words. True North.
That just helps with directions.
Well, this will give him the directions.
Tell the nanobots where to go.
They know where to go. It's all about Skylar's hacking skills. So if you can pass the DR16 hacking test, I will allow you to make it look like he has more funds.
Okay. So I have 2 questions with this.
Sure thing.
The first one is, does this work like concentration, where since I already have the door, I'm going to lose the door if I do this?
No, not at all.
Okay. So then second question, instead of making it look like Buckaroo has more credits, can I make it look like Bart has less?
Damn.
But
Sure thing.
But Buckaroo doesn't have enough credits.
You could trick the system so Skylar can either trick the system in making it look like Buckaroo has more credits, or make it look like Bart's Goo still has less.
I have a better idea that I'm stealing from Parks. Make your paddle tied directly to Bart's account.
Yes. Can I swap their amounts? Can I do that? Can I do a flip flop?
Uno
Parks,
reverse
you're
card.
brilliant. Parks, you're genius. I love you.
It's just going to require the same 16
Okay,
number I
risk it for
asked
biscuit.
before.
Let's go.
Risk it for the biscuit, baby. Spend your favor. This is the time to do it.
Yes, it sure is. And I'm spending a favor because I rolled a 3.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a yuck. That's a big yuck. Hold on.
I feel like this table gets
So
just
I'm down to
decided
one.
over low roll.
I know you have a +10 to this. It's 50-50 for you.
I got a natural 20. I'm not even kidding.
Nice.
Nice,
That's
fucking
26.
nice. That's why we play games, baby. That's why we play games.
Favors.
That's why we
Love
play
Lord,
games.
Love the favors.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So
All of a sudden, my arm goes up.
So with every single attempt, every bid that happens, Buckaroo, bzz, I got it. Bzz, I'm good for it. They, you know, what I mean, just spending crez like it's not even like it's going out of fucking style.
This is exhilarating.
Actually take all that from Bart. Like, actually, like, was that where his stuff was? And now we just took it.
It won't go directly to your own personal funds, but you swap the counts.
So basically, we took it from Bart, and now we're just going to give it to Bart's enemies. I love this.
No. So basically, what happens is you took the accounts tied to the paddles, got transferred.
Oh, I see.
So you're using Bart's money to buy this
Bart
thing.
has 550 credits on his paddle, and we have whatever he had, which is probably a lot more.
548 because I did tip the usher.
Mm-hmm.
So as all this shit's going off, and you see these people going off and off and off, bidding back and forth, you're like, bzz, and you're like, bang, bang. You hear Garfin and there's panel, bang, bang. What the fuck? Bang, bang. We require assistance, please. Make sure things. And you see the ushers coming in and says, "Sir, says you have this amount of credits." And you're like, "That is incorrect." Like, listen, I understand. You probably overbid it at some point. We have not bid it all night. Perhaps you came with less credits than you thought. I mean, it is what it is, buddy. I'm very sorry, but hey.
Oh no! I just want to hear robots argue with each other. Actually, it just reminds me of Cybermen and the dialects.
Yes.
Absolutely. And like at some point, and it said, "Sold to the fine gentleman in the back with the funny news." Oh no, not the funny news. To the fine gentleman.
Down.
To the pretty depressing clown. Such a somber note and such a great item, but all recipients can find their items towards the back. Just please take your tickets and paddles over to the area, and you will receive your items as promised.
I want to get Flask out now before they come back with the thing.
Sure thing.
I believe red slippers are being auctioned off somewhere else.
Huh.
Wasn't that the code
Right,
word?
that was
Uh-huh.
we're going.
Yep.
Lefty's kind of like in the back now, looking around like he's expecting something, and just kind of looking.
You see kind of like a somber note of things happening, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm supposed to work. I don't know why it didn't work. And you're kind of just overhearing schemes and plotting as they make their way from the location. And it happens every Tuesday. Don't even worry about it. All right, fine. And as all this happens, you are all able to make out with all the goods, literally, via everyone's coordination, flasks, literally hiding where the treasure is. Skylar, you're able to retrieve them and
Yes.
take all this shit. through the ingenuity of the hacking and swapping accounts. This was excellent as far as I'm concerned. And as you all head back with your revelry, that is where I'm going to end the session.
We are so getting
Excellent.
blown up next week.
I don't know. I just want Bart to drink this vial.
I know, right?
One way or another. Well, thanks,
Fart.
thanks for everyone
Fart,
for playing.
fart.
Thanks for running, Carlos. And quick reminder, down in the description, you can find links to everybody here, but also you'll find a link to the Zoo Mafia notification page so that you can sign up to be notified when the Zoo Mafia RPG Kickstarter drops, and we'll have some cool early bird specials. So you're going to back, you want to do it within the first 48 hours. With that, until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Very nerdy.